old 97, you must bring Red dispenser on time. Howdy, howdy, howdy. A wreck of the old 97. A great hit, 1924. It was a million seller, one of the very first in country music, maybe the first in country music. Recorded by Vernon Dalhart, and that was his stage name anyway. And the flip side of that record was The Prisoner's Song, another big one. So early country music. Dalhart wasn't really a country singer, but he was more of a classical kind of an opera type singer. But he got into country music, and somebody wrote this song, and away he went and recorded it. And he recorded a lot of songs after that. But this is a very famous one, and Johnny Cash has recorded it, Hank Snow, and lots of people. Wreck of the old 97, a real actual train wreck in Virginia. And I've got a capo here on the 4th fret. So we're in the key of B. You know why it's B? So some of you might not know. You might be at a jam and somebody says, I'm going to do this in B, key of B. And if you're not savvy to all this stuff with capos, you might go home. We've got to ask somebody, right? Well, when there's no capo, we're in G. This is G tuning banjo, right? If we go capo up 2 frets, there's a G and then a G sharp at 1, and then the second fret would be an A. In music, from G, there's no H, you go back to A. So G, second fret would be A. Third fret would be A sharp or B flat, because the sharp and flat there between A and B, it can be called either one. So that'd be B flat, and one more would be B. So 4th fret is B. Key of B. This song only has 3 chords. The 1 chord, the B, and the 4 chord would be an E, and the 5 chord would be an F sharp. The common lead-in. They gave him his orders. Common lead into a C. Go up to the 5th fret. 2 fingers for that partial C. You're hitting the 5th string open, so you got time to go up there. I always like to, when you shift positions, I always like to have an open string right before I shift the position, because otherwise you're going to cut off a fretted note way too early. It'll sound funky. Funky. That's just quarter notes at a time. Now we're going to do a 2-finger D, but we're going to slide into it from the 6th to the 7th fret. Same fingering as the C back here. Now, open first, go back down to your first position. Leading into another G, but only one. I got a pinky on the 4th fret. I'm going to slide that. Just leave that. We're hitting 2 forward rolls with 1 finger on the 1st string, so they're all G. They're all G notes. We're ending on that 2nd string. Then I'm going to go back down. Well, there's actually 2 slides and a pull-off. And the last 2 is a slide and a pull-off right away. So that's the first half of that measure. The last line are 2 tag licks. We're going to slide on the 3rd string. Easy, once you know how. So, great old song. Go for it. It'll come up at jams, I'll bet you. And if it doesn't, you can learn this. And you can bring it up at a jam. Or with your buddies, whoever you're picking with, right? So it's a well-known song. Flat and Scruggs did it, and it's kind of based on his and maybe Sonny Osborne's versions. I kind of didn't look at them lately, but when I kind of have them in my head. They rattle around in there, and then when I start playing or arranging it, I guess some of their stuff comes out. I remember it. I remember parts of the Sonny's and parts of Earl's, and who knows who else played it. So that's it. Okay, good idea to learn how to play out of a capo position pretty high up now, 4th fret, because you know your fret markers are going to be in unusual places that you're not used to. So it's always good to learn how to play up on higher frets with a capo. So you get used to those markers. You know, where's the D? Where's the D? Oh, there's that. Oh, yeah, this is really an F sharp, but I mean, you know, D from the capo. And you've got these fret markers at different places than you're used to when you're down here. So that's why it's good to learn to play in other keys. All right, have fun. We'll see you next time. Oh.